There was a time when the seniors of America on Medicare didn't have access to nationwide prescription drug benefits. So, as I indicated 20 years ago tomorrow, President George W. Bush signed into law a nationwide prescription drug benefit for our nation's seniors. At that time, I was chairman of the Finance Committee, and I was proud to be lead author of that Medicare Part B. It wasn't even, it wasn't easy. It took several years to bring members of both political parties in the Senate and the House, along with a president, in this case President Bush, to accomplish this monumental task. As I remember, both political parties were blaming each other over a period of maybe 5 or 6 years of why we don't have a prescription drug bill, and probably blaming each other. Throughout 2001 and 2002 and 2003, I led a bipartisan negotiations that eventually produced the Medicare Prescription Drug Improvement and Modernization Act of 2003, which is the official title of that legislation. In 2003, I said this, a quote from that period of time: Medicare is part of our social fabric. We're not only saving it, but we're also improving it. And of course, that still rings today. Today, 52 million seniors are voluntarily enrolled in Medicare Part D plan because it's not a requirement of Medicare. In 2023, 804 standalone prescription drug plans were offered across the nation, with the average Iowan having over 20 plans to choose from to meet whatever their special needs were. Over the lifetime of the program, the average annual Medicare Part D base beneficiary monthly premium has been between $27 to $36 a month. Now, I remember some of the discussions that we were having back there as we tried to develop this legislation. We thought to ourselves we had to be very careful that the initial premiums were not over $40 a month, because we figured that was just too high for anybody to participate in this new program. And we knew, or at least thought at that time, that they would continue to go up according to inflation. But as you can see, after 27 years, the base beneficiary monthly premium is still well below $40 a month, which obviously is quite a surprise.
Dear friends, are you missing out on extra payments? Several states throughout this month have been distributing new batches of inflation relief payments, but officials have confirmed that many have accidentally thrown away this bonus money, which could be worth as much as $1,000. I'll be going over everything that you need to know, so please make sure, friends, that you watch until the end of this video. Also, every Friday, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, please click and like several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways. Now, friends, according to Kiplinger, the Internal Revenue Service will tax state rebates sent to Minnesota residents in 2023. These rebates, commonly known as Walz checks, were worth up to $1,300 in some cases, and were a result of a $3 billion Minnesota tax relief bill that was passed earlier this year. That bill also included a child tax credit for the state, which is worth up to $1,750 per child dependent. During a recent news conference about projected Minnesota budget surplus for 2024, Governor Walz expressed his strong disapproval of the IRS's decision to consider the rebate checks taxable. State stimulus checks, tax rebates, and inflation relief payments are popular. Millions of people in 21 different states received special state payments last year, and several states sent more rebates and surplus tax refunds throughout this year. Governor Walz sharply criticized the IRS's move to tax these rebates, while highlighting the contrasting scenario where crisis relief payments in other states remain tax-free. According to the IRS, if you receive special state payments, such as one-time refunds, rebates, or other payments in 2023, you usually will not have to include them in your income for federal tax purposes. This is especially relevant for those who choose to claim the standard deduction on their federal tax returns, which is the case for most taxpayers. Governor Walz stated that despite communication with White House officials, the issue of tax exemption for Minnesota remains unresolved. Governor Walz also mentioned that Minnesota missed a deadline for tax-free status by 15 days. The governor fears the tax could add an unexpected financial burden for many Minnesota residents. At the same time, according to the management and budget assessments, the state's budget has a projected surplus of $2.4 billion through June 2025. While Minnesota won't tax the rebates, the federal tax on these rebates could reportedly range from $26 to $286 for Minnesota residents. The amount of tax will depend on household income and the total rebate amount. The initial rebates amounted to $260 per person. Eligible households potentially received up to $1,300 for couples with at least 3 dependents. However, your overall federal tax liability will depend on several factors, including tax credits and deductions, and total taxable income. If you reside in Minnesota and have not received your Minnesota rebate yet, there is a chance that you may have thrown it away by mistake. But the good news is the state has reissued 150,000 Minnesota tax rebate checks that remain uncashed and have expired since they were sent over the summer. Minnesota officials say those reissued payments are on the way to eligible Minnesotans. Many residents of Alabama are also still waiting on that one-time tax rebate check. The Alabama State Department of Revenue began issuing the rebate checks on December 1st, based on 2021 tax filings. The state held off on issuing the rebate checks for 6 months to accrue interest on the money. So the big question is, how much money will the state get back? And will the taxpayers spend these dollars in Alabama? According to officials, $300 will go to those who filed jointly and $150 to single filers. But a large majority of people who were unaware that these checks were coming, and some may have accidentally trashed it. People have different ideas on how they plan to use this money. Some plan to save or pay their bills. But everyone could agree that this rebate is right on time for holiday shopping. So friends, if you reside in Alabama, and if you are eligible for a rebate and have not received it by December 15th, officials suggest that you contact the Alabama Department of Revenue. Well, my awesome and amazing friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for this morning. Thank you, dearest friends, for being part of this community. To show my appreciation, every Friday I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, please click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. Thank you and have a wonderful and very blessed week.